Alright kids, let's talk about wonder from page 60 through 80 today. So Mr. Brown told the kids this precept for October, this is your deeds are your monuments. What do deeds mean? Deeds are your actions, everyday actions, and they define who you are. And then at the time when you pass away and then go into your grave, that is going to be your monuments. Those are going to be the words written on the plate of the graveyard. So our actions define our legacy, not our words, not the words that we gain at school, not the achievements, but then our actions towards other people. So we have to be careful about the way we treat other people and then the choices we make, because a person can tell something but then act in a totally different way. So I always try to imagine what my funeral would be like. So on my funeral day, my friends, my relatives will be invited over and they will talk about me, and then they will reminisce about the days they spent with me, and then the actions that I showed them is what people are going to remember me by. So guys, we are making our legacies through our deeds, through our actions. I think that's what Mr. Brown was trying to teach. Yeah, so by giving this moral guideline called precepts, the teacher is trying to give the children moral guidelines to abide by, especially in this context when this new kid, August, with disability came into this school environment, and that's why Mr. Brown is emphasizing these precepts even more than usual. Yeah, also another precept that Mr. Brown introduces: when given the choice between being right and being kind, always choose kind. So when we are having discussions with other people, many times we are obsessed with proving our arguments right and then coming up with the facts and evidence. We try to defeat the other person. But then I think the point of a conversation and a discussion, unless you're in a debate contest, is to come to a mutual understanding, and then establishing a common ground on which you can build stronger, healthier, richer relationships. So when you're talking to somebody else, rather than trying to prove yourself right and being right all the time, focus on being kind and focus on, impacting the person's heart. Then I think we can have smoother relationship with anybody that we meet in our lives. And then this Halloween incident is especially heartbreaking because August really likes this holiday. He has been looking forward to this day, and then he was preparing this costume, Jango Fett, although he didn't wear it. So he showed up in a totally different costume. So all the other kids didn't notice that it was August. So August's best friend Jack Will, not knowing that August was there, he said some awful things about August. So he said something like, you know what? If I were August, if I looked into the mirror and saw myself, I would want to kill myself. I think Jack Will didn't mean it, but he was just saying that because of social pressure, and then he just went with the crowd. And then he just went with what Julian was saying, although it's wrong. So August overheard the conversation and he feels deeply hurt. This incident is pretty significant because it completely shatters August's trust in Jack Will, and then his hopes that he had about this new school life. So August says that he has stomach bug, goes back home, and then doesn't come to school for a couple days. So I guess that August must have felt very betrayed and devastated, heartbroken. I would feel the same if I were August, and I almost cried when I was reading this part. So if I were August, I think I would try to confront Jack and then like face Jack and then ask him why he said such things. And then if Jack does not give any excuses, then I would just say, I would just think that, oh, Jack is that kind of person, and the friendship with him has no hope, no more hope, and then try to form a friendship with another good kid like Summer. But then if I could hear from Jack's side, and then if I could get an apology from Jack, that would be like another start for a new friendship. Um, yeah, so I would try to talk through the incident with Jack if I were him. And then, so the first part that we've been reading is called The August. That is part one of the novel. And then part two was newly introduced, and that is titled Via. So this novel has multiple perspectives, and this chapter called Via is going to be told from Via's perspectives. So that's what makes this novel very unique, and very rich, and then it adds a lot of depth to the narrative, because if we read from different characters' perspectives, then we can have a more realistic worldview of this novel. And then uh, told from Via's perspective, we can get to know all the struggles and all the sacrifices that each family member is making for August. So August definitely is having the greatest challenge in the novel, but then because of the challenges that he's going through, all the other family challenges are sort of overshadowed. So I think by allowing us to read from many different perspectives, the author is letting us to explore this world more realistically, and then we can get a grasp of how complex the August world is. So this gives more depth and then more fun in reading this novel. So that's about it for today. Thank you so much, and I'll be looking forward to your discussion.